Think you know everything about motorcycle maintenance? Think again. What I'm about to reveal will either save you thousands of dollars or expose how much money you've already wasted. If you're serious about motorcycles, hit that subscribe button right now, because this information isn't available anywhere else. And I guarantee at least 3 of these secrets will completely change how you maintain your bike. Most riders treat their motorcycles like toys instead of precision machines. They rev cold engines, ignore critical maintenance intervals, and wonder why their bikes die prematurely. But the riders who truly understand their machines, the ones whose bikes run flawlessly for decades while others are constantly at the repair shop, they know these 10 hidden secrets that I'm about to share with you. Secret number 1 will shock you. Every morning, thousands of motorcyclists are unknowingly destroying their engines with one simple habit. They start their bikes, give the throttle a quick twist, and immediately ride off. This single action is causing microscopic damage that accumulates over time, leading to premature engine failure that could cost you $5,000 or more. Here's what's really happening inside your engine. When oil sits overnight, especially in cold weather, it becomes thick like honey and settles in the oil pan. For the first 30 to 60 seconds after startup, your engine components are running with minimal lubrication. The pistons, camshaft, and valve train are grinding against each other with inadequate protection. Each cold start, without proper warm-up, removes microscopic layers of metal from these critical components. The solution is devastatingly simple, yet almost nobody does it correctly. Let your engine idle for at least 30 seconds. But here's the secret part that even mechanics don't always tell you. Don't just sit there idling. After those initial 30 seconds, ride gently for the first 2 miles. Keep your RPMs below 3,000 and avoid hard acceleration. This allows the oil to reach its optimal operating temperature and viscosity, ensuring every component receives proper lubrication. Professional mechanics who work on high-end motorcycles religiously follow this protocol. It's the difference between an engine that lasts 50,000 miles and one that lasts 200,000 miles. The cost difference? Absolutely nothing. Just patience and knowledge. But engine warm-up is just the beginning. Your motorcycle's toffees chain is probably killing your bike right now, and you don't even know it. Most riders check chain tension by eyeballing it or pushing on the chain with their finger. This amateur approach is costing them hundreds of dollars in premature sprocket wear and transmission damage. Here's the hidden truth about chain maintenance that dealerships rarely explain properly. As your rear suspension compresses and extends, the distance between your front and rear sprockets changes dramatically. If your chain is too tight when the suspension is at rest, it becomes dangerously tight when the suspension compresses during hard braking or when hitting bumps. This excessive tension puts enormous stress on your transmission bearings, countershaft, and rear wheel bearings. The correct method requires checking chain slack with weight on the bike, simulating actual riding conditions. Use a tie-down strap to compress the suspension or have someone sit on the bike while you measure. Most motorcycles require between 20 and 30 millimeters of slack, but always consult your owner's manual for exact specifications. Here's what happens when you ignore proper chain maintenance. First, you'll notice rougher shifting and increased gear whine. Then your sprockets will develop hooked teeth from excessive wear. Eventually, you'll face a repair bill of $600 to $800 for new chain and sprockets, plus labor. In severe cases, transmission bearing failure can cost over $2,000 to repair. Check your chain tension monthly and adjust it immediately when it exceeds specifications. This 5-minute task could save you thousands and ensure smooth power delivery for years. Now, let's talk about a mistake that's damaging your motorcycle every single day. Tire pressure. Everyone worries about underinflated tires, but overinflation is actually far more dangerous and destructive. When you pump too much air into your tires, they become rigid and lose their ability to absorb road imperfections. Every bump, pothole, and rough surface sends shock waves directly through your wheels, bearings, suspension components, and frame. Here's the scientific reality. For every 10 degrees Fahrenheit increase in temperature, your tire pressure increases by approximately 1 psi. If you inflate your tires to maximum pressure on a cold morning, they'll be dangerously overinflated by afternoon. This reduces your contact patch with the road, decreases traction, makes braking less effective, and accelerates suspension wear. The solution requires precision and consistency. Always check tire pressure when tires are cold, preferably after the motorcycle has been parked for at least 3 hours. Use a high-quality digital gauge, not the ancient analog gauges found at gas stations. Set pressure to manufacturer specifications, which are carefully calculated based on extensive testing for optimal performance, wear, and safety. Professional racers and experienced touring riders religiously follow this protocol because they understand that proper tire pressure affects every aspect of motorcycle performance and safety. But even perfect tire pressure won't help you if your clutch cable is slowly destroying your clutch plates. Most riders experience what they think is clutch slippage and immediately assume they need expensive clutch replacement. In reality, the problem is usually a simple cable adjustment that takes 5 minutes and costs nothing. Here's what's really happening. As clutch cables stretch over time, or when they're adjusted too tightly, your clutch lever loses its free play. Without proper free play, your clutch remains partially disengaged even when you're not pulling the lever. This causes constant friction between clutch plates, generating excessive heat and accelerating wear dramatically. The correct free play is typically 2 to 3 millimeters at the lever, but always check your service manual. Adjust the cable so you can move the lever slightly before feeling resistance. This simple adjustment can double or triple your clutch life, saving you hundreds of dollars in premature replacement costs. For hydraulic clutch systems, the principle is similar but involves brake fluid condition. Old hydraulic fluid absorbs moisture, reducing pressure and creating a spongy feel that mimics clutch slippage. Change hydraulic clutch fluid every 2 years using the specific fluid type recommended by your manufacturer. Now here's a silent killer that's probably attacking your engine right now. Your coolant isn't just preventing overheating, it's actively protecting or destroying your engine's internal components. Old coolant becomes acidic over time, and this acid systematically corrodes aluminum engine parts, water pump impellers, and cylinder head gaskets. The terrifying part is that your temperature gauge might read normal, while internal corrosion is destroying your engine. By the time you notice symptoms like coolant leaks or overheating, you could be facing repair bills of $3,000 to $5,000 for head gasket replacement or engine rebuilding. The solution is proactive coolant maintenance that most riders completely ignore. Change coolant every 2 years regardless of mileage, or annually if you ride in extreme heat or dusty conditions. Never mix different coolant types, as this can create gel-like substances that block cooling passages and cause catastrophic overheating. Use only distilled water when mixing coolant, as tap water contains minerals that accelerate corrosion. Test coolant acidity annually using pH strips available at auto parts stores. If the pH drops below acceptable levels, change the coolant immediately, regardless of how recently it was serviced. Your air filter is another component that's secretly destroying your engine while robbing performance. A dirty air filter doesn't just reduce power, it creates a lean air-fuel mixture that dramatically increases combustion temperatures. These elevated temperatures can warp exhaust valves, burn pistons, and destroy cylinder heads. The warning signs are subtle but critical. Rough idling, occasional backfiring, and reduced throttle response all indicate air restriction that's forcing your engine to work harder while running hotter. In extreme cases, complete valve failure can occur, requiring engine rebuilding that costs thousands of dollars. The solution is embarrassingly simple and incredibly cheap. Replace air filters at recommended intervals, or more frequently if you ride in dusty conditions. Off-road riders should inspect air filters weekly, as even small amounts of dirt can cause significant damage over time. Fork oil is another maintenance item that almost everyone ignores until catastrophic failure occurs. Your front suspension doesn't just wear out from mileage, the oil inside breaks down chemically, losing its ability to dampen movement and protect seals. When fork oil degrades, your suspension becomes harsh, unpredictable, and dangerous. The consequences of neglecting. Fork oil are expensive and potentially life-threatening. Failed fork seals leak oil onto brake rotors, creating dangerous braking conditions. Harsh suspension can cause loss of control in emergency situations. Replacement costs range from $400 to $800 depending on your motorcycle. Change fork oil every 15,000 miles or according to manufacturer recommendations. If your motorcycle feels harsh over bumps or dives excessively under braking, fork oil replacement might restore proper suspension function and prevent more expensive failures. Brake pad selection is another area where riders unknowingly damage their motorcycles. Cheap brake pads from unknown manufacturers often use incorrect friction materials that are either too soft, wearing out quickly, or too hard, destroying rotors prematurely. Quality rotors cost $300 to $500 each, making pad selection critical for long-term economy. Organic brake pads work well for normal street riding, providing good stopping power at moderate temperatures. Sintered metallic pads handle high temperatures better, making them ideal for aggressive riding or touring with heavy loads. Semi-metallic pads offer a compromise between performance and rotor wear. Never assume that expensive pads are automatically better for your application. Match pad material to your riding style, motorcycle weight, and typical operating conditions. Quality pads from reputable manufacturers protect rotors while providing consistent, predictable braking performance. Your spark plugs are providing constant feedback about engine condition, but most riders ignore these valuable diagnostic tools until problems become severe. Reading spark plug condition reveals air-fuel mixture problems, ignition timing issues, and internal engine wear long before other symptoms appear. Black, sooty plugs indicate rich fuel mixture, often caused by dirty air filters, faulty sensors, or carburetor problems. White, chalky deposits suggest lean mixture, which can cause overheating and engine damage. Oil deposits on plugs indicate worn valve seals or piston rings, requiring immediate attention to prevent catastrophic failure. Replace spark plugs at recommended intervals using the exact heat range and gap specified by your manufacturer. Incorrect. Plugs can cause poor performance, increased fuel consumption, and engine damage. Finally, let's address fuel additives and system cleaners. The marketing claims are impressive, but the reality is that most fuel additives are expensive solutions to non-existent problems. Unless your fuel injectors are actually clogged, which is rare with modern fuels, additives provide no benefit and can sometimes cause harm. Top-tier gasoline from major brands already contains detergents specifically designed to keep fuel systems clean. These additives are carefully formulated and tested, unlike many aftermarket products that make bold claims without scientific backing. If you suspect fuel system problems, use proven products like concentrated detergent packages designed for professional use, but use them sparingly and only when actually needed. Overuse can damage sensitive sensors and foul spark plugs. The riders who understand these principles keep their motorcycles running perfectly for decades, while others constantly face expensive repairs. Knowledge and consistent maintenance habits are the difference between enjoying your motorcycle and being enslaved by repair bills. If this information was valuable to you, subscribe now and hit the notification bell because I share advanced maintenance secrets that aren't available anywhere else. Comment below with your biggest motorcycle maintenance challenge, and I'll address it in future videos. Remember, the difference between average riders and experts isn't talent or expensive tools. It's knowledge and discipline in applying proven maintenance principles.